What's up, 2424? What you know? Back at it again. Back at it again. So I want to talk about this Billy Carson situation, but I want to go about it in a different way. Billy Carson basically he got cooked. He debated this so-called Jesuit scholar, and he got cooked. But to me, that's not saying much because Billy Carson is a weak debater. I mean, any Hebrew Israelite, any Mormon could take him apart. To me, in my opinion, debating. He's a weak debater. Billy Carson is, a narcissist, and it shows you people who think that they're God, who saying that I'm a God. That paradigm, man, be very weary. Anybody talking about that they're a God, I'm gonna tell you, be very weary, because there's a certain destructive illusion that comes with that. The universe, in this particular way, the universe expands and it contracts, right? So a person might use that, I'm a God, and they pump themselves up and they expand, you know, with this false confidence, with this delusion, being out of order with nature, being out of order with, divine order. And the universe always contracts. So this might be what happened to Billy Carson. That's just my opinion. The universe contracted on him on a lot of different things, man. Man, this is the 8th year. But anyway, Billy Carson also, too, is an abductionist, right? He believed that he was actually abducted by aliens. I'm talking about when he talks about this nigga gets nervous and he gets crazy. So people like this, right, in my opinion, who comes from this particular paradigm of, being abducted by aliens and stuff like that, there's something spiritually weak about them. There's something spiritually lacking. If you coming from that paradigm, I've been abducted by aliens, man, something's wrong. That's my opinion. But these people do need to be psychologically analyzed. People coming from this particular paradigm. Anyway, but however, I want to say this, and people think I'm crazy when I say this. But this guy, right, Wes Huff, this so-called scholar, he speaks all these ancient languages and stuff. He's been to, he's actually been, has degrees and stuff and PhDs. He ain't got fake PhDs like Billy Carson does. But however, I think he's worse than Billy Carson. And I'm gonna tell you why. I always got to, family, that's how we get down. Spiritual honesty always. Intellectual honesty always. So first of all, I notice when it comes to this type of situation with this guy, Huff, and it's not just his situation, but just in general. And it's all of us. We think just because a person wears a certain cloak, as anything, as a priest, as an intellectual person, as a person of authority, we always think that they're in the right. This is how we're trained, all from birth. We train like this. And this is where he's getting over. So I have my theories about this guy, Wes Huff. He seems like he's a very dishonest person. And this is the thing with people who are highly educated and they know that other people are not highly educated, right? They can use a lot of rhetoric and use the verbiage of the language and all these things to create delusion and illusion. It was just that with, Billy Carson, it was more obvious, right? But to me, he's worse, and I'm going to tell you why. So, in the debate, I'm going to talk about what was brought up and how the dishonesty. So, let me ask, they asked the question, did the crucifixion happen? So, I'm going to ask you all, did the crucifixion happen? Hell fuck no. The crucifixion happened. So I'm going to go deep. I got to go deep with this one. If by some miracle that everybody, just say, we're going to use this for example. If there was some miracle that Jesus did exist, that he did die, that he was resurrected on the third day, right? He still wasn't crucified. Now you say, how was that? Well, because the crucifixion, right, comes from the Council of Nicaea, right? They adopted that symbol. They didn't invent that symbol. That symbol's been around for forever, since the beginning of time, damn near. So the crucifixion comes from that. We already know through history that people wasn't executed like that. So the crucifixion has to do with the symbol of the cross. Jesus never died that way. You see what I'm saying? So even if Jesus, even if he did, actually exist, the crucifixion is technically non-existent. You see what I'm saying? So that's actually a trick question. You see what I'm saying? But here's the thing though. Even if you could, by some miracle, right, everybody on earth, yes, Jesus did die. He was dead for 3 days and he was raised up. Even if every mind on the planet can know that, right, if that actually happened, to say we're going to just say for the sake of argument that it did. And then the crucifixion didn't happen. Christianity, it would still kill Christianity. For those who spiritually inclined understands this, because the cross is a symbol of Christianity. If there's no cross, there's no Christianity. This is a fact. So just think about what I'm saying. Don't believe what I'm saying. Just think about it. If there's no cross, there's no Christianity. Now, there's nothing wrong with the symbol of the cross, okay? But as far as we taking it, as far as something that happened in actuality, we know for a fact that didn't happen that way. That the Council of Nicaea, which was in 325 AD, that they decided to take upon that symbol, the cross, and they divided Jesus into the Trinity. This is fact, okay? So the question was really a trick question. But the way Billy fucked up was, right, he tried to argue with this through another Bible, trying to go into another ancient Bible. The crucifixion didn't happen, which is like crazy. Like some things don't have to be argued in a scholarly way. A lot of things is just as far as you be able to think for yourself and analyze. But this is what people forget, that they have a brain when it comes to a person who's supposed to be scholarly, who has a PhD. And let me tell you something, education ain't got shit to do with knowledge. knowledge, which is shit that's is an actuality. I know this guy's full of shit because he has on his channel, Christmas isn't pagan. And we all know, people who didn't study, we all know that ain't true. Easter isn't pagan. We all know that that's not true. So here's the problem. We have this scholarly person, right, who speaks all these languages, right, this Jesuit, right? To me, his job is to make Christianity relevant by any means necessary, right? We know how the Jesuits get down, right? So that's what he's doing, right? To keep this beast, this engine, this machine of Christianity going. That's his job. So another thing that was asked, right? He was, I forget what part. I don't know if it was on, I don't know. I heard him debate Genesis 1:1. I don't know if it was with Billy Carson or if it was something else, because I couldn't find it in the debate with Billy Carson. But he said something about Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth, right? For those exotericists, right? We know that God is Elohim. When you look up the original text in Hebrew, Elohim means powers. Hence, more than one person, right? So, Wes Huff goes to explain this, right? He uses all this bullshit ass rhetoric, right? And basically at the end, he says some shit about, oh, it's like, well, sometime in the Bible, it's plural, it's singular, God is plural, and, it's like saying, one cow or 80 cows, and basically he explained it nothing, right? So Elohim basically is the same as angels, right? We know this word angels, right? You could be talking about one, but angels in itself, right? There's a group of them. Same as Elohim. It's this synonymous thing. Exact same thing. So Elohim is power, is more than one, just like angels is. Simple. That is very simple, right? So, but to me, with his dishonest rhetoric, right? That's dishonesty when you explain something and you pretend like you explained it away, but you didn't. And people, they assume that he's educated, right? That he explains some shit that he didn't explain. Because you think like, oh, well, he knows more than me. What he's saying has to be true. You see what I'm saying? This is how we're trained. So this is my observation. So this guy is going to take Billy Carson's place. You heard me. And he's going to be a lot worse because a lot of people are so stupid. Well, I don't want to say stupid, but they're so programmed that they believe, well, Billy Carson was so weak as far as, what he was saying. And this guy, he's educated, so a lot of people saying, oh, I'm going back to Christianity now. Billy Carson was a lie. A funny thing with Billy Carson too. Billy Carson, and it's kind of sad because a lot of people in the ghetto, Billy Carson got a lot of people reading emerald tablets and all that shit, man. He the woke part of the woke community, you feel me? These ghetto, these spiritual thoughts, I want to call them. They know all about the fucking emerald tablets, you know what I'm saying? Which was a made-up story. You see what I'm saying? Which never ever happened. I never got into the emerald tablets, you know what I'm saying? Because just my instincts, I was into other stuff. But I always knew that emerald tablets wasn't the way to go. All right? But yeah, man, this dude is worse. This dude, Wes, they're going to use, so now he's going to be the spiritual scholar that's proving Christianity, keeping, basically, no, he's not trying to prove anything. He's trying to keep the machine going. Oh, also, this is what I noticed from the debate. So he's explaining Jesus, right? No, he's explaining God, right? As a Because it was like, is God a man? Is God, what God's supposed to be? So to me, it was dishonest. He says, well, God isn't perceived as a man. And I think that's wrong. I believe that in, of course, in Islam, God is masculine. In Christianity, God is masculine, right? It's like one of those things that's not really spoken about too much, but it's perceived. To me, that ain't no denying reason at that. He said that it's not. But what he did was, when he was talking about God being a masculine energy, right? He kept saying pronouns. The pronoun of he. The pronoun of he. I'm like, what the fuck is this dude keep saying the pronoun of he for? See, people got to understand. See, this is what I'm talking about. So people who fuck with the upside down rainbow, people who's eating alphabet cereal, alphabet soup, he's appealing to them saying this pronoun shit. Because to me, when you hear him talk, it was forced, like he was forcing himself to say that. I done listened to a lot of sermons talking about God is, as a masculine energy. People never use pronouns, so why is he using it now? You have to think about it. So this is why I don't trust this dude. This is why I'm already sick of him, because I know how he's going to be used. How this shit works, man. It's crazy, man. But hey, do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? Hit me up and let me know, 24. We'll talk soon.